The concept of a settlement between Ripple and the SEC has been discussed for a very long time in many places. It has drawn a lot of interest from the cryptocurrency world and been the focus of numerous judicial cases and deliberations. Supporters of cryptocurrencies, including well-known industry experts, have questioned whether Ripple represented unregistered securities in the U.S. By March 2023, the case is supposed to be over, and some experts have begun to predict what might happen. The most recent expert to foresee the outcome of the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit is Brian Brooks, a former CEO of Binance in the United States and a former acting comptroller of the currency. The court will decide whether Ripple's 2013 initial coin offering broke U.S. securities legislation, according to Brooks. According to Brooks, the 2013 XRP distribution will be a crucial component in any settlement. He expects a resolution between the two parties to enable investors to continue trading XRP in the U.S. American attorney, inventor, and entrepreneur Brooks works in these fields. From January 14, 2021, he is knowledgeable about both public and private financial realms. To May 29, 2022. Brooks served as the acting comptroller of the currency, and after leaving that role, he became the U.S. CEO of Binance. However, his employment did not endure as long as many had hoped. He made the decision to quit now to his most recent interview and projection after only 3 months. The biggest issue with XRP, in Brooks' opinion, is that it is dispersed differently depending on the assets and nature at any particular moment and location. He doubts if XRP now is security because he thinks the courts will judge whether or not the XRP coin was a security at the time of its initial distribution 10 years ago, regardless of what happened. The SEC has acknowledged that assets can alter over time as they become more useful and decentralized. Then he offers his prediction, expressing optimism that an agreement between the SEC and Ripple will be achieved shortly. Tokens will be distributed as part of the settlement so that existing token holders can continue to trade and value them in the same ways. Although the blockchain companies have won a number of key cases, the Ripple v. SEC dispute has continued. One of the topics that is now receiving the most attention is the records belonging to William Hinman. Despite the SEC's efforts to keep the records quiet, the court has twice ordered that the securities regulator must reveal the records. However, it appears that the SEC is not pleased with the outcome, which is why the agency protested to the judgment. It's noteworthy to note that finding the Hinman records is not the SEC's top priority. They would rather achieve a settlement with Ripple. The current legal conflict between the regulatory agency and blockchain company Ripple XRP has reportedly taken a new turn after the presiding court rejected the Securities Exchange Commission's plea to seal. Attorney John Deaton is representing over 71,000 XRP holders in the complaint. The SEC was also required to submit a redacted version of the brief and exhibits after the law deadline of June 14 has been set for the edited version of the short document, which will concentrate only to the extent necessary to secure information sought to be placed under seal in response to the application by 6XRP, according to court records shared by Ripple's defense attorney James Phelan on June 9. Investors are required to submit a brief citing the analysis of an SEC expert. The most recent decision was made after presiding Judge Sarah Nett Byrne and SEC Ripple discussed SEC claims that the attorney-client privilege protects materials pertaining to then-Director William Hinman's speeches, but according to the court records, speech is not protected by the deliberate process privilege. The SEC had asked the court for an order sealing the agency's letter. The SEC has continuously attempted to stop the use of the Ripple defense against the Hinman materials. The ultimate court ruling is the focal point of the SEC's defense in this case. The lead attorney for Ripple, Matthew Solomon, initially asserted that the SEC had changed its position in the lawsuit to suit their purposes. More emails that revealed the SEC's conflict of interest have come to light. The emails were made available to Empower Oversight, a nonprofit organization. It made SEC data on improper measures done by several authorities in connection with the Ripple litigation public using the information. According to correspondent Simpson Thatcher, Hinman was informed about a potential conflict of interest. Ripple has expressed confidence that the company will be given preference in the decision. Thatcher is Hinman's former boss and a former SEC officer. When the presiding court first made a number of rulings in favor of the blockchain company Phil, he anticipated an early victory for Ripple. However, as the case went on and the parties kept trying to seal evidence, whispers of a settlement started to circulate. The seal is probably being used by the SEC to avoid setting any legal precedents with the XRP case. On September 18, James K. Fillon, Ripple's defense attorney, tweeted that Brad Garlinghouse, the chief executive officer of Ripple Labs, had requested summary judgment early on. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission member Caroline DeFam and Brad Garlinghouse met the following day. This follows rumors that a court had been asked to resolve the continuing legal conflict between Ripple and the SEC. The matter is largely viewed favorably in the cryptocurrency world. Some believe that the cost will be higher than 40 cents if a settlement is reached. They are also optimistic about the likelihood of a settlement because Ripple Labs maintains that there is no investment contract. Therefore, the request for summary judgment is perceived as a mark strategy that could result in the SEC settling. If the recent increase in the price of XRP is any indication of general sentiment, it may be deemed to be quite positive after rising by a positive 36%. The coin was recently returned above 50 cents during the prior week. What are the possibilities that Ripple Labs will win in court and conclusively demonstrate that XRP wasn't a security at the time of the project's token sale in 2012? Let's take a look at some expert perspectives. The co-founder of Finder, Fred Scabetta, is our first stop. According to Fred, it's essential to take the zeitgeist into account in order to comprehend what the SEC is doing. Gensler, who is currently quite excited, asks for something to be pinned to him. Fred wouldn't want to be too sure that Ripple Labs would win. He actually believes the exact opposite. He asserts that in America, these legal conflicts can completely turn political. In order to bring cryptocurrencies under the Securities Act regulations, Gensler's SEC is seeking for someone to stick it through the cryptocurrency. Finally, according to Fred, if the dispute is resolved, XRP merely needs to pay a fine, and Ripple will have gone through the washing machine but will emerge intact because regulatory clarification will occur. And looking at it from this angle, he is really optimistic. He does, however, advise against taking this as financial advice. Vincent Chalk, CEO of First Digital, a financial institution that specializes in technology and digital assets, also contributes. The CEO of the Hong Kong company believes that XRP will be relisted on U.S. cryptocurrency exchanges if Ripple wins, which might result in XRP being the only cryptocurrency with clearly defined local regulatory rules. Additionally, the cost of other altcoins will likely temporarily increase as a result of the likely steep increase in the price of XRP. Another benefit of a positive conclusion, as Chuck said, is that there would be less mystery about how crypto assets are classified. Given that this action sets a precedent, it's also likely that the SEC's efforts to hold Bitcoin participants accountable won't be applied to the larger digital asset market. The majority of the stock is not owned by Ripple, hence it seems doubtful that XRP will be lost. If Ripple suffers a setback, since no other regulators have yet to signal that they intend to take action against Ripple, a sizable portion of XRP holders are situated in nations where the SEC lacks jurisdiction. XRP will presumably continue to be delisted on U.S. exchanges, but not elsewhere. It's vital to remember that until the court case is over, all of these are just speculations. Both possibilities are viable. The upward price trend of XRP suggests that many investors are anticipating charges to be eliminated in the event that the ruling is favorable. One of the first cryptocurrencies to break out of a multi-month range may be XRP, which might signal the beginning of a bullish trend. Yes, the bullish trend that everyone has been hoping for. Therefore, XRP armies will enjoy very lengthy happy days.